Welcome to Sri and Kira Live. As our world spins seemingly out of control, we are all experiencing time speeding up, chaos shifting to a new level, and a yearning to know the greater mysteries of the universe. What does it all mean? Visionary spiritual teachers and best-selling authors Sri Ram Ka and Kira Ra explore these mysteries, offer live soul readings, and invite you to open up your mind, body, and spirit to the paradigms that are shifting. Bringing you fresh perspectives and timeless wisdom, here are Sri and Kira.
Namaste and welcome to Sri and Kira Live. I am wisdom teacher Sri Ram Ka.
And I am Master Lady Kira Ra. And beloved angels, you have arrived. We are at that moment right now. This week is the arrival. Do you feel it? You know, I know you feel it. And we're going to talk so much more about that, including why we have this amazing background today. And before we go any further, just want to remind you that we are going to be diving into the weekly revelations, everything that the Ascension energy is calling forward on this power-filled up-level week, up-level moment. We are in it right now. And we are in it with you. And we are so glad that you are here with us. Shri, I know, where is everybody grabbing us today?
Most people are finding us at YouTube or at Oneness Talk Radio's video and audio. And of course.
And at YouTube, that's official Shri and Kira.
There it is.
Yeah.
And of course, we are also at bbsradio.com, where you can call in from their 800 number, which is 888-627-6008.
Let's repeat that.
888-627-6008. 6008.
Now, hey, get in the queue. Don will get you all queued up, but you want to write down that number because if you call and you get a busy signal, it does mean all the lines are jammed. So get in there. Remember, you can listen while you are on hold. And Shri over at Oneness Talk Radio.
Absolutely. You can give us a ring at 517-208-1500. 517-208-1500. And listen, dial in, get yourself kind of logged in, and then Spirit will guide us, and you may get on the air right away. You may not. Either way, you get to listen.
Either way, you're there, and we are glad that you are here right now. Now, guys, before we go any further, Sri, I think you and I should do our scooch off camera.
All right.
And we want to give you a nice big view. So here's what you're staring at. This is this week in a graphic. So I want you to I'm going to try and smidgy off the camera a little more here if I can. There you go. And so what we want you to do is just take a moment right now and really breathe in this energy. This is this week. And because this week is so profound, I was really clearly guided and shown this imagery and to share it with you because this is going to peak this Wednesday. I want you to make a note of that right now. This Wednesday, July 22nd, this is that incredible comet. You see it? The one that's coming through right now. This comet, Shri, I think we can scooch back in, right? So we'll be the comet, right? Right, we'll be the comet. So this comet, this neo-wise, gotta love that. This comet, we're really, our chairs seem to be giving us a hard time here. Sorry, guys. But this comet that's coming in will be here again, you ready, in 6,800 years. Now, I first want you to breathe that in because we have had a lot of comet up-level energy in 2020. Those of you that have been following what has been coming out here from the Ascension Revelations all year know we are in a mastery up-level presence. This is a moment, and especially this week, you're going to see a lot of reconnections this week. In other words, you're not only being tapped on the shoulder, the universe sent you a comet, right? And it's saying, hey, look beyond what is trying to distract you right now. Put your eyes back on the divine. Stay in the divine presence of who you are. Last week, what did we do? We opened up that active energy. This week, it's going into action, literally, guys, as we are gathering live right now. And this is going to build. And so we've got today, we've got tomorrow, Monday Night Magic. Tomorrow is the actual up-level moment. We're going to be talking about that more in just a moment. So if you're part of Monday Magic, bonus, tomorrow night, we're going to be together on the up-level moment. Very exciting.
Powerful indeed.
Very powerful. And then on Tuesday is the bridge day between today, which is, this beautiful new moon illumination, moving us into tomorrow where we have the actual peak up-level, bridging us to Wednesday on the 22nd when all of this energy literally activates, and you've got to love, Shri, that it happens to be Mary Magdalene feast day.
Oh, yes.
So, all this talk, right? Look at all this talk about it's our moment where we must be integrating and allowing the feminine to rise. It's that moment where this is not about sex or gender or identity. It's about an energy. It's about feminine energy. And here we have a 6,800-year cycle saying, hi, pay attention, right? I'm doing my Diana wave, right? Hi, pay attention. There's a lot happening right now. So for Ascended Numerology buffs, I want to share with you two things. Number one, 6,800, okay? In Ascended Numerology, what is 6 plus 8? It is the 14. What is 1 plus 4? The 1 plus the 4, right? So the 1, that sacred union of the body, plus the 4, perfect balance in the year of 2020, in the moment of calling in the masculine feminine. And then it becomes the 5, forgive me, Shri, right? The Fibonacci sequence, eternal life stance. The moment where, what Shri and I have been modeling, where reverse aging is real. Literally reverse aging is real. And who'd have thought that this was our part of what Shri and I would be asking to do because we chose to stay on the planet, right? And so we just had, and I want to give a big shout out to all of our Cosmic Origins people that just left, missing you already, angels. And that as we are all in our Cosmic Origins right now, this week is about the activation. And I want you to really hear that. It is the activation, the new moon illumination, right? All of the 2020 activations, because it heralds the arrival of the absolute presence. And so I want you to really breathe that in. What is that? Well, that presence is universal championship.
There it is.
Right? Yeah. Universal championship.
When you champion something, what you're saying is, I will lend my energy to the success of this, whatever the this is that you're championing. If we're championing together as a family, we're championing awakening, we're championing self-ascension, and we are championing the coming forward and visibility of the masters. Yeah. That's you. Look in the mirror.
Okay,
look in the mirror.
I will.
Because
I'm looking in the mirror.
As the cloak comes off, as we shine, as we lend our heart energy and our presence out into the world, it sends the signal. The snooze button is off. It sends a signal out to the world. Beloved ones, it's time. Stop slumbering. Wake up and feel the love, the bliss, and the absolute majesty of your mastery.
Yeah, I want you to really breathe that in. And please, with all our heart and soul, join us this Wednesday. You are a lineage holder. You are a master. Yes. And are you honestly willing to take a stand and do something rather than just say something? Join us this Wednesday evening, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Go to shriankira.com. You cannot miss it. It is right on the homepage. And be with us as we come together for this arrival activation as the Universal Championship ignites. And this is that up-level illumination amplification. And there is so much happening that Shri, myself, and just Juntanun, we are coming together as a trinity of light saying, look, this is such an important week, champions, that we are coming forward, and we would love you to meet us in this beautiful illuminated new moon, calling forward not just the reverse aging, but calling forward the true illumination of your mastery, presence, and form as your up-level and illuminated universal championship arrives. This comet coinciding with everything, and the fact that for certain traditions, it is the Mary Magdalena feast day, is really saying, look, of all the feminine energies, right, of all the feminine archetypes that could be on July 22nd, of course, would it not be the Mary Magdalena resurrection moment? I am so excited about that. And so please join us as Shri and I will dive with all of you that want to join with us into this portal, and we will time travel together as we call forward the Universal Championship ignition, the up-level illumination amplification. Because after Wednesday, Remember, we're all still in this chalice energy, right? Let's not forget the chalice energy. You know what, Sri, let's throw up the calendar. Let's show you guys. I want to put up the Uplevel calendar, the July Uplevel calendar. Right there. Yeah. We're going to put that up right now because I want you guys to look. You see where we are right now. We are at the 19th. Now, again, for those of you that are aware of the Uplevel calendar, every month, this calendar was designed by the divine directors. I was blessed to be the one that they brought it through. And all of the art you see on here was actually placed over each month according to the way the energy would flow. And so you see that right now, we are hovering over the sea of creation. We are already in the energy of our mastery. So remember that you have already illuminated up top there. You see the last day of June. Remember when we transited from awareness into an experience month? And so as we are there, as you are in this awareness experience now, we are in a moment where we are gathering and harvesting this arrival energy. And tomorrow, the 20th, on that illuminated new moon, in the energy of this incredible 6,800-year-old comet, we will be coming together in a very strong moment that you see the ignition. So it builds on the 21st, and I'm so excited because we're going to have a very special soul mirrors. Jess will be with me again. It's going to be very powerful. And on the 22nd, do you see that burst? You see that I'm going to call it a ray of light that bursts out of the 22nd and goes right back up to the weekend of the 10th. So remember that Mercury retrograde week was what? It was 7 years. The 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th, you were amplified 7 years of mastery presence in 7 days. Or you were amplified 7 years of density presence in 7 days. But that was a very powerful week. This past week, has been all about getting ready for this week. And so, wow, take a breath, right? You feel it? And as I'm connecting with all of you, I'm really experiencing second and third chakra today, along with a lot of fifth. So let's really breathe into our second and third chakra and just, really be there. And as we bring this up right here to our fifth, as we really bring it in, what is the truth in you that is part of the arrival? You know, imagine that arrival is what? It's like a birth, isn't it? It's the arrival. And it's like all of the sacred magi are around us. The Esina brethren are here, and they're saying, look, we're going to send you another tangible sign. Because unlike other years, 2020, as part of that rapid 2-year overlay escalation, 2020 is actually offering us this extraordinary moment of very quickly, very effortlessly being in multidimensional space, being in multidimensional timelines. I want to put up one more time the energy flows for the entire year, because this is an important reminder that 2020 is the year of mastery experience. And so remember that this year is about the rising dragonfly, which is profound beauty. It is all about the triple energy. So it's all about the Trinity, the Trishul, the however you want to see the three energy. But in this year, those three energies that are arising out of the heart of this incredible ascended dragonfly energy are profound shift, not just shift, profound shift, as seen on this diagram by the two squares. Visionary transformation through timeline adaptation, which is in between the two squares. It looks like the pyramid going right up there to that dragonfly that's literally sending it out through the cosmic universe. And then the awakening to self-ascension, which is a spiraling energy throughout the entire year. And so let us not forget, as we look at July, we just moved into the first of a 2-month cycle of profound shift. And so thereby, today, this week, the energy, this week of July with the new moon illuminated Uplevel is going to offer you the propulsion all the way through until we hit September. And when we hit September, we go back and seal a 3-month cycle that opened January, February. of this year. So it'll be the big return. So that's why I was saying you're going to start seeing more reconnections. You might talk to people you haven't talked to in a long while. You might reconnect with people you haven't reconnected with in a while. You might be remembering things. You might be revisiting your own dreams.
There's also a greater paradigm that you might tune in with. And that is when we are at a time of completion, which is this time, what comes forward is that which needs to be completed. Yeah. And I know so many of us have gone through some bumpy moments in the last couple of weeks that this up-level energy has really kind of brought forward some folks' rough edges, has brought forward some fear and doubt or some inner child issues, and that this is part of the completion. To be complete means I'm at peace with this.
Right.
And so that which you are not fully at peace with will likely rise up into your world of experience so that you may love it. Yeah. So that you may look more deeply, perhaps get off your position, perhaps move into forgiveness, perhaps just have a laugh.
Open your
heart. And it's done. But it's
right?
done from a place of presence.
Yeah.
And so presence is the healer. Consciousness is the active principle of that healing. So we are at a fabulous time. And then as Kira was sharing, this whole year is going to be one that's going to bring forward whatever people in your lives that you may need to offer a hug of completion with.
Or a hug of
or a hug of reconnection.
And reconnection. Yeah. It's going to be a beautiful spiral. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is a fabulous time because it's moving so quickly.
Yes.
One of the things, I had a great example of this last night. We were watching a little spiritual video, and
Paramahansa Yogananda.
And we love Paramahansa Yogananda. However, this particular video was narrated by someone who hadn't quite gotten out of his meditative state.
I mean, precious, beautiful, precious.
He was talking,
but it was we both just went like
slowly, long pauses.
Oh, it was precious, and it wasn't a meditation. So, but it was beautiful.
But there was I'm not trying to belittle it. I just had a smile because the cadence of the presentation was coming from a place that helped me go to sleep.
And in a beautiful way.
And that was a very peaceful, loving sleep.
Exactly. I was going to say that could be the greater service.
So it's important to recognize that this up-level moment, while it can seem a little uncomfortable at first, it's inviting us to live at the speed of light.
Yeah.
It's inviting us to live at the speed of thought. It's inviting us to live at the speed of instantaneous manifestation. So we either amp up and say yes, and we develop our spiritual muscles over the next week. So what? Well, it'll be fun.
But it's going to be more than fun because what's so amazing is that Ready or Not Universal Championship is literally right now. And so it's an active energy of profound shift. So consider that if you've been putting things together, if you've been looking at things, if you've had ideas, then most likely this week, right now, the one that just culminated yesterday, and you're probably still going, wow, what a week, right? That week was about setting the stage for you to really thrive this week. So celebrate. What came forward? What was in your face? What was amazing? What inspiration came forward? Because this is the week to celebrate it all, love it all, and be active with it through the absolute arrival of the Universal Championship within. And I want you to really breathe that one in because it is something that many, when they first feel it, that's where we could be feeling this upper breath holding or the third chakra. This also very much will target emotions because remember that this energy here, this higher so remember, this is that beautiful illuminated new moon with this 6,800 year comet coming in right now. We are in this energy of creation. It's in it. It's already begun. As a matter of fact, if you want to go deeper with it tonight, go to selfascensionstudios.com and be with Jess at the new moon ceremony. And so that's here right now, building till tomorrow when you see the comet. It's coming in. You see how it's coming in now and we're going through. So as the comet moves through, building, tomorrow we will actually jettison into the up-level portal, But you're going to be in that portal Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the rise of it all, when we want to come together and attune together to this incredible moment. So again, this Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific time, ShriandKira.com. Get here, get your friends there. This is a really important moment. And so, Shri, I really want to talk about how, as the emotions are running in wild directions, and there's also this sense of intensity, right? You're going to see a big rise in this. And also people are really going to want to get positional. You know, that intensity is going to come from positionality. And so again, I just want to remind you that the way to navigate this with a lot of ease is to remember that as you remain in your multidimensional self, as you stay in your presence, in the fifth dimension, which we arrive in through that self-love, that self-compassion, you are the witnesser of this moment. And so you are not just the witness of yourself, because the witness of the self in the third dimension still often carries judgment and questions. This is the witnesser of that person, of that witness, the one that can keep the loving arms of compassion around it, that soft, subtle smile that then ignites. You see that big, tall energy coming out of the fifth dimension ignites because you literally stand up and become the seventh dimensional experience, witnessing the witnesser of the fifth dimension. And that energy right now is the greater gift of the moment, is to say yes to the witnessing of the witnesser. That's the moment at hand.
And that's a healing moment.
Exactly.
One of the things, I'm going to say this with a little tongue in cheek. As a child, when you knew you were being watched, did you behave a little better? And the reason I say that is the ego is very childish, childlike. Right? And so that as we're witnessing ourselves, what happens is, if you're running down the road of an ego-governed behavior, the moment your higher dimensional loving presence comes online as the witnesser, what happens is the ego begins to realize there's a greater context than its small world. So now let me say this another way. Your ascension capacity is limited by the degree to which you invest in ego-based reality.
Oh, say that again.
Your ascension capacity is limited by the degree to which you invest yourselves in ego-based density realities. Now, what happens is, as we begin our journey of self-ascension, we move out of pure density into spiritual activism, which is an expanded density. It's a focus that has more principles and a greater inclusiveness, but it's very much egocentric from the standpoint there's a lot of right or wrong and us and them and all that going on. And true ascension is where we can sit at the feet of the divine and have that direct communication, the direct communion, the direct reassurance, and the direct inspiration to be a conscious vessel of light in form. And this is the exquisite nectar that Rumi writes about. This is the nectar of your inspired mystical experience. And this is the only, as far as I can have ever seen, this is the only reward and the reward that we are all seeking. And there are a multitude of pathways. And I no judgment about the multitude of pathways, but that's where they're headed, is the direct connection. So the egoic personality, which has an embedded grip on your consciousness and your perception, your filters, it came in at birth. The ego was a gift that came in with your body. A body without an ego is a child who will die young. Think about it. The ego's job is to keep your body safe. The ego's job is to protect your emotions. The ego's job is to help you know the difference between this and that, and self and other. So it's a very fundamental self-preservative lens that is necessary if you want to have a body and then cultivate consciousness. So full circle back to what I started chatting about is that when we get more sophisticated, our ego also gets more sophisticated. And so we need to pay attention to the soul consciousness, which is witnessing the egoic witness. And the ego then realize it's part of a bigger picture, and it begins to soften its need to control. So the ego does not 100% disappear, but with the loving presence of the fifth dimensional witness, the ego gets softer and softer.
Yeah.
Our world has greater and greater illumination, more and more love, forgiveness, and compassion. And we haven't disconnected from all of the fun of having a body. We've just created an operating system of a love-based context. I like that.
Yes, he does. I can guarantee you. And so, Shri, this is so valuable in the moment, because remember, my angels, that in this moment before us, and this is another reason why when we are at an arrival moment, a birth moment, right? The arrival, the birth, and this one is about your universal championship, about the active presence of universal championship, then that is going to cause literally a tantrum with anything that cannot celebrate shift. Mm-hmm. Remember, this is a profound shift. This isn't just shift. It's profound shift. So it's like one of those moments where, do you celebrate moving to a new space with dread or joy? Right? Because it can be that kind of double-edged sword. You can either see it as, oh, it's so much work, I have to do this, this, and this, or you can see it as, oh my gosh, my whole new life is beginning and I can hardly wait to get it going and set it up. Well, that's the moment you're in right now, and that's what this 6,800-year energy that's, coming in.
There you go.
There we are, right? So let me just do the same. That's what this energy and this illuminated new moon is saying to you. It's saying, look, right here is the arrival. We are going to send into, let's come on back. We are going to send into this specific illuminated new moon a smoke signal from the universe that is saying, we are here and so are you. Meet us here. They're coming in as far as they can, if you want to think about it with linear thought. So if you think of this with linear thought and you see it as they're physically coming in and we're coming up, then the seventh dimension is where on Wednesday night, the 22nd, the two are going to intersect right here. That's the 22nd. That's the imminent impact, so to speak. And so we're going to together meet that energy, and your heart will take you wherever you are meant to go to fully receive this arrival energy. And this is about the opportunity. Once again, remember we got that message in a bottle a few months ago? Remember that one, right?
Yeah.
With the last comet. This time it's direct contact. This is the arrival. And so breathe in. If all your dreams have always been meant to be, then look at the law of instantaneous manifestation to call them forward right now. This is about going beyond the illusion of what you think the dream is and accepting the truth of the truth that you are. And that is that moment, Shri and I talk about it as naked authenticity. It's the moment where the final fear will be the fear of yourself.
Yes.
It will be the fear of having to confront yourself. And this is why it comes forward in that fifth dimensional space of loving compassion of the self. And loving compassion of the self also means this self. This physical body right now is being offered an experience that you came for. Remember that as Ascended Numerology teaches, right? We all incarnate through the sacred sequence. Your sacred sequence brought you to this specific timeline within this specific experience of form for this specific experience of the evolutionary expansion of all divine light. And so as we are able to say yes to that, in this moment right now, our physical bodies are being challenged. You are here at a very unique moment. The physical body is saying to you, and as Shri and I are living, and many of those that are living here with us at Tosa Blue Mountain are also experiencing, is that when you are able to hear the body and wrap your seventh dimensional non-judgmental arms around the fifth dimensional compassion, then the body feels safe and will continue not only creating, it will continue supporting. As your level of consciousness rises, you may have moments of imbalance within the physical form where you are not feeling well. However, they will be pale in comparison to the infinite presence that illuminates you constantly. And Shri and I are a living testimony to that. We can absolutely validate that. There was a lot of giggling around our beautiful cosmic origins beings that were just here, that this is the fountain of youth. It's living here. And I can't really deny that. I really can't. And we have so much to share about those revelations. But, talking about an important ingredient, I want to talk about, since we're talking about the physical body, two things right now. We're talking about the physical body. So if you are over at 517-208-1500 and you have an Ascension Symptoms body question, that would be the place to raise your hand to ask Shri, and you're going to press *5 to do so. And if you are over at the 800 number, 888-627-6008, you need to tell our producer, Don, hey, Don, I have a question for Shri, and he'll let us know. Now, one thing I want to talk about is, here in Ecuador, I do have to do a little bragging. I'm going to do a minute of bragging. So here in Ecuador, we shut down March 15th. I mean, the country just went, you know what, cerrar. We are closed.
We are closed.
And we're going to deal with this. And we have, it's really been
They've
quite.
Done very, very
they've
well.
done really well, and it's very chill, and it's just been really quite a blessing to be here.
But the one thing the government here, the health department, recognized, as leaders worldwide have recognized, is that face masks are critical to slow the spread of the virus, as are other sanitation and separation issues.
Now, I want to share one thing spiritually about this, because a lot of you have written us about mask or no mask, and 100% of those questions have come from United States. And so I find that fascinating as well.
Yeah.
And so here's where Shri and I have been experiencing this. We are blessed to live at 7,500 feet in the middle of the Andes Mountains, where the air is so pure and so sweet that it's crazy. There are no cases around us. They're down quite away from us. So what we have been blessed with is when we're at our home, when we're in the energy of our pure air, of course, we are maximizing that. However, when we have to go to Cuenca, we wear a mask, number one, because it is law here. We have to. But number two, because of what I was just saying. Your physical body is being assaulted. Now imagine not only assaulting the physical body with the particulates that it's breathing, thereby making it work harder, right? Diverting energy from other sources of your divine presence. You're also being assaulted at the level of your emotionality. And emotionality is a first root chakra. It'll pull you right down, keep you in your root chakra. It says, hey, I want to feel safe, and then I want to be safe at all costs. And then what happens? We start collapsing our energy down, 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 down. So one of the things Shri and I were really clear about was that a mask does not need to be what it is perceived to be. And I am so grateful that all of our inspirations, Christina over at auraenergyshield.com, you're going to want to write that down, auraenergyshield.com, developed using our amazing spun silver 5G fabric, right, that we all know is so amazing. Check this out. I was so excited because Aparna brought them with her. We have made spun silver, look at this, our beautiful spun silver, real silver masks. And they're light and airy. Look, you can breathe. Look.
They don't fog your glasses.
Look at this. Look. Do you see the silver? And look at my eyes. See, I'm smiling. And you can tell I'm smiling. Oh, I'm not happy, right? So no, I'm just trying to show you that what we have discovered is, and I'm talking. Yeah. We had some N95s that when we were in India we bought, and so that's why we happen to have them. And I couldn't breathe. I'd be in the car going, I'm going to suffocate, right? But look, check this out. So anyway, and they're comfy, and they're uber light. And look at this. So the reason we want to share this with you is, why not treat your body to something that's really good for it?
It's antibacterial.
Exactly.
So it's not just, pollen or anything else.
Literally light as a feather. I mean, literally. And look, you can crumple it up. Check that out, right? Although it comes in the I like this cute little thing. So anyway, Christina has generously offered in honor of the 22nd, right? Coming up this Wednesday. So tell them.
All right, so you can go to auraenergyshield.com, A-U-R-A,
Check this out.
auraenergyshield.com, and you'll
Love
see
it.
this is one of several different varieties of
I like this
mask.
one. I like this one.
And there is a coupon code. You can
Yes.
save 22%. That's
Thank you,
significant.
Christina.
That's a beautiful
I love that.
discount.
But it's this week only because
1
that's
week
the
only.
energy of this week. And Christina, thank you. That was so kind of you.
Yeah, we were so touched when she sent us these samples.
We're
We
like,
go-
okay, we've got to tell everybody about these.
So write this down.
Yeah.
When you go to check out, the coupon is Silver Summer.
I love that.
Silver, SILVER, Silver Summer.
Silver
Yay!
Summer.
22 and go.
Yeah, so 22% off. Thank you, Christina. And guys, it's whether or not you wear a mask in the end is going to be your own decision. What we can share is that years ago, Shri and I, when we first got together, we were talking to Archangel Zodkiel about how to heal. That, can you regenerate a bone? Can you regenerate a liver, a kidney, whatever? And you were the one that asked Zodkiel that question. Yeah. And this is the answer. This is what we got. And this is one of the reasons why we're sharing this with you, because your physical body is being assaulted because your higher spirit is really ready to soar. And there's energies that are terrified of that.
Well, and there's really two answers to this. The first one is Zodkiel's comment to me when I asked the question was I was facing a root canal at the time. I had motivation to ask the question, can I heal this?
This was during some of our personal ensoulments, yeah.
Yeah, and Zodkiel laughed and said, of course you could heal it. However, all of your focus will be on that healing probably for about 30 days to completely heal it. Or if you would like an easier route, why don't you visit your medical professional and have him treat that? It'll be okay. It's not going to damage you to have it treated.
And this was a really important spiritual discernment, because oftentimes there really is a depth of should I or shouldn't I?
Yep.
How will it affect my energy? How it affects your energy is a direct relationship or to how you are holding your consciousness. It's the consciousness that meets the intervention. And I really want to go back to you surviving last year. Well, the fact that Shri's alive is an absolute validation of his level of consciousness.
There's a direct connection to the level of consciousness, and I want to come full circle back to some popular spiritual myths. One of the popular spiritual myths is I can eat anything, for example.
You can process through anything, and it's not that isn't true.
And I can process through anything. It's okay. I can smoke cigarettes. It's not going to damage me. I can, eat junk food, etc.
Right.
Well, at one level, the answer is yes, of course you can. At the other level, is that really kind to you as an evolving being to add that burden to your energy body?
I need to jump in.
Please.
Okay, go ahead. I have to jump in. I'm sorry. I'm just like,
and so there's a little paradox here. When we bring loving care to our body and we drink pure water, eat pure foods, we take, we exercise moderately, and we bring the loving care to our bodies, there is very little friction for your lift. But when you bring other things in, you're adding to the burden.
And so here's where I want to jump in, is that I'm sure we'll get the emails from the usual group that tell us why somebody else out there has told them you can eat meat and any other thing you want to. Yes, you can. However, your level of consciousness is your veil. So breathe that in. Your level of consciousness is your veil. So we're not saying it's not that you can't, and it's not that you won't grow. It's just a question of what sometimes we're just really happy with the level of growth we've attained. Yeah. And if that's the case, then get really happy there. Stop making yourself miserable by watching our show and writing us and telling us why we're making you crazy. Do what you need to do to feel comfortable where you are. I know for Shri and I, our comfort zone is about expand. I am here, I am ready, I am open, guide me. Because the limitlessness nature of you is absolutely what this form is excited about and enjoying. And remember that when the true sacred union happens, right, which is that sacred union of the body and the soul as the one whole being emerges, in that moment, everything, and I mean literally everything, comes forward. And in that moment of that level of consciousness, from that level of consciousness, you become the living embodiment of what the cosmic brethren have, all the cosmic brethren, the divine directors, the Esina have all said, that nothing needs to die for you to live.
Yes.
Nothing.
And
Nothing needs to die
Nothing.
for you to live. And this goes back to the original seeding, right? Where everything was held and seen as sacred, and where the all was revered as one.
I remember one discussion when we had a beautiful group of people here studying the works of the Esina and the Esina, which is the closer languaging of the Esina. The Esina are an ascended group. Basically said, do you wish to ingest fear?
Yeah. And death.
Fear and death. It's your choice.
It's your
you can
choice.
do what you want. You're a divine being. Go do what you want. But do you really wish to ingest fear? And that all animal protein sources were killed in fear.
It doesn't matter how humanely they're killed. Put your head on a chopping block, and how would you feel about those around you going, oh, we love you so much. Boom. It's really, it's forgive me, but it is level of consciousness, and all levels of consciousness serve. And so we're not saying that any of these are not good. They're all serving. What we're inviting is releasing the judgment of the judgment of the judgment.
And I want to share a little story because Kara mentioned, my hospital event of a year and a half ago or so. And it was a life-threatening event, and they removed a big chunk of my intestine, like most of it. And the doctor, we checked in the hospital. I said, I am a vegetarian.
Oh, right. That's right. That's right. I forgot about this part.
So got through the surgery, got through the first crisis. In the ICU is the second crisis, right? Are you going to make it through the night or two? And then came, got out of that, and then it came time of, okay, well, we're going to see if you can even absorb anything, and they'll bring you the cup of Jell-O. But the doctor said to me, you're going to need to start eating meat.
Oh, yeah.
Your body will have to have it.
And not only that, he got so angry with me for not siding with him. The doctor pulled me out and said, he will not live unless you feed him meat. And I am going to give him chicken soup right now. This is a man who has been vegetarian vegan for over 20 years, and he's going to put chicken in front of him. And I stopped it. And to this day, he's very mad at me. And they really felt that Sri would not be able to live unless he was eating meat.
Well, and let me share some of the inside dialogue.
Yeah.
So I'm lying in the hospital. I dropped 15 pounds in just a few days, because of what had happened. And there was a moment when all of the doctors were there. They're saying, "Congratulations! You're doing great. You're going to need a high quality protein. You can only get that protein from certain meat sources, and this is what's required for your body to function."
They literally brought in the team.
And the nutritionist was there. The surgeon was there.
I was there in the corner.
And it wasn't an intimidation thing. It was a dialogue.
They were worried for you.
Yeah, it was a dialogue.
They were just so happy he was alive.
You need a high quality protein to survive. Was the mandate.
Yeah.
And I said, well, thank you. Let me think about that. And I found myself in that moment internally going, well, maybe my situation has changed. Maybe I do need. And if I were to eat a protein, what would I eat? And I kind of went down that path for a little bit.
It sounds like a song. If I were to eat a protein, what would I eat?
And
Sorry.
Then, I fell asleep, let that go. And then the next time the topic came up in my consciousness, I went, wait a minute. What I want is the energy of resurrection. What I seek is the energy of renewal. I don't seek that means to get there.
And I have to jump in and say, and when that moment happened was that group had left. I was still there in the room with him. Lunch came, and that chicken soup was on the tray. Yeah. And I stood up and looked at my husband and said, "Are you really going to do this?" And that's when that happened. It was like when he really put his hand down. That was when it really...
And I didn't know it was there, but then when the nurse said, okay, here's this and this,
right.
and then I go, oh.
Yeah.
anyway, but what
it's your consciousness.
What it called forth was, are you going to stand committed to the level of consciousness which has brought you to your awakening, or are you going to regress into a conventional paradigm based upon levels of consciousness that believe in subject, object, cause, and effect? If so, then you work within that system and you will be limited by that system.
And that's okay.
And have a good time.
Right, exactly. Do it well. That's what Angels Like always says. If you're going to do it well.
If you choose to embrace the deeper level of truth, I'm calling it deeper, which is there is a quantum reality. There is an infinite presence.
Perennial philosophies.
Infinite presence beneath the world of form. And that what we all seek is direct connection to that infinite presence.
Changeless.
While we are alive.
Yeah. The yoga of self-ascension.
And so these critical incidents in our lives, whether it's a health emergency, a love emergency, a bankrupt, whatever it is, whatever brings you to your knees, that's a power moment.
Yes, it
is. A moment to claim your highest expression. And to say, if not now, when?
Right? And if not you, who? And this brings us back to those dreams and that law of instantaneous manifestation. Because remember, my angels, that when we are in that fifth dimensional presence, when we can really love ourselves enough to forgive ourselves enough to wrap the compassion around us that lifts us into the fifth dimension to become the witnesser of this third dimensional experience. In that moment, the law of instantaneous manifestation activates because you're outside that of want or need. The law of attraction, remember, is your springboard. The law of attraction is based upon wants and needs. I want this. I need that. Give me that. I want this. I'm going to manifest this. Very I-oriented. And the law of attraction is also used for the greater good, but it's very much based upon a lack energy.
It's a cultivation of your
exactly.
energy powers.
And it's fabulous and it's wonderful and we've all used it and we are so grateful that it's out there. And the reason that it's so well known and so popular is because it is such a broad first fabulous step that helps a lot of beings. And then when you're ready to really go and live in this fifth dimensional presence, the law of instantaneous manifestation ignites. And as happened this past week when the Cosmic Origins was here, and we're going to talk about this in just a moment because we have a very powerful little short film for you today. One of the things that happened at the cave, those of you that were with us last week saw the video of the cave and the activations and everything that happened there. Well, one of the things that happened was that the message, with great awakening comes great responsibility, was delivered. Yeah. And through me. And so, yes, right? With great awakening comes great responsibility. And that's responsibility for your own divine presence. That's the responsibility. Your body in sacred union has said, look, oversoul, look, higher master self, I'm going to trust you enough that I'm going to show you what I can do. And Shri and I have been modeling this, right? You guys have seen me. I went from almost wheelchair bound, really having a hard time walking, extreme pain, to an hour a day on the treadmill minimum. I'm dancing an hour to 3 hours a week in the ballet, back on my toe shoes in my ballet studio, running up and down here to the Temple of the Masters. I think I'm now 80 pounds lighter than I was a year ago, and reverse aging. And that's because what anchored, and it was through Shri's death that really anchored in me. You know, that was our re-upping, right? We've talked about the re-upping.
We both had to choose.
We did. And so as Sacred Union couple, would it not make sense that through surgical and medical experiences, my husband released close to 70 pounds, and that through experience of the consciousness that he so generously, literally died for so that we could reopen, it's reflecting in me as well as the sacred union. And so when your body is looking at you and going, hey, what are you doing? Are you paying attention? Because this is that moment. This is the arrival. Are you paying attention? Your body will give you the blessing. You will, I honestly can stand on the top of any mountain and scream that I know this works because I'm living proof of it. Shri is living proof of it. If you really want to commit, steadfast commitment, focused awareness, complete trust. It's exactly what Zadkiel was saying about healing the tooth.
Yep.
Only what the divine directors are saying here is that steadfast commitment, focused awareness, and complete trust in your divine nature, in your path, not letting the distractions come in, not doubting yourself, not constantly making yourself crazy, just saying yes to you, just saying yes to what you know is true. That if you can do that, this happens. Your dreams not only manifest, the law of instantaneous manifestation, when held with the recognition that with great spiritual awakening comes great responsibility, then becomes the joy of your everyday life. And the miracles are so fast, so abundant, so instantaneous that needs and wants disappear because you're not looking at them from the third dimensional experience that would have any lack in it at all. You are a complete divine conduit of inspiration, and thereby you are now living in the divine galactic blueprint, fully ignited. Thereby the body feels the upliftment and says, hey, I'm liking this. Let me show you how I can support you, versus an emotional, physical body that you can't move through and that you're in too much pain to think about, that your spiritual experience becomes down here because this says, no, it's all about me here. Big moment.
It is a big moment, and I want to just offer just a little more on this.
Please.
And we'll move forward. It's important to have a little patience with yourselves, to have some mercy on all of the foibles that happen, because the evolutionary step is moving out of a Newtonian reality, cause and effect. We touched on that earlier. But that whole subject-object way of thinking, way of interacting, if I do this, then this will happen. And that egoic model functions well within its zone. Okay? Yeah. And that zone is mass consciousness, and as we are being called to a soul-based life, as we awaken, we are moving into a higher dimensional understanding and operating system, a different context, which is more based in what the word would be flow. It's more based in instantaneous manifestation. And the more we allow our consciousness to lift into that and identify with it, meaning our ego is not in opposition to it. We're not talking ourselves into it, but we are claiming it. Then the instantaneous manifestation and the rapid healing and reversals all come forward. Yeah. But prior to that point, and that's a threshold, and it takes steadfast commitment to get there.
It does. It really does.
Prior to that point, just consider for a moment, the reality of your consciousness is this whole subject-object versus unity consciousness. We look at ourselves that way. How often do you judge yourself?
Right.
You know, there's the emotional aspect of the subject-object, that you're not good enough, you screwed up, how dare you, and all of that, a horrible ripple effect that goes with it.
Very true.
What about when your body is needing some love and attention? Maybe it's injured or has a symptom. If we treat it like an object, then we are not in sacred union. We're in a relationship with the body. And we're trying to dominate, not be dominated by our symptomology. So it all flows together. And when we begin to break through into this fifth dimensional and above realm of existence, then the body relationship becomes a true partnership.
Exactly.
We are in sacred union with the body. And as long as the soul is expressing its divine mission, which for all beings has an element of be who you are. Just be the authentic presence of love and light, and then use your gifts in whatever method is joyful.
Right.
So in that divine presence, the body says, I will go along with you as long as you're doing it.
And for as long, and I will remake myself. I will show you my healing capacity, and you're not needing to use all of your higher frequency energy to do it.
Yes.
Because the body trusts you. This is that difference, right? The body now says, okay, you are taking care of me.
It's a DNA upgrade,
right?
so to speak.
No, definitely. It definitely is a DNA upgrade. And so how fabulous is that? And speaking of DNA upgrades, I want to get, I just am so excited. Shri and I are both just like, there's so much happening here. I think you guys can feel it, right? And in this massive week. So last week, we showed you the Chopstick Cave video. We talked to you about what was happening over there, and we started talking about spiritual championship and about how when we were up at Tosa Blue Mountain with our Cosmic Origins group, that our beloved Angel, who is one of our local Kenyani neighbors here, was starting to talk to us about what his grandmother and now great-grandmother used to take him to all these sacred places that happened to be on our land. And that all of these places have been covered in cactus, as you saw, and we showed you some of those pictures.
A lot of overgrowth.
A lot. And he started saying, there's this over here. There's this temple here. There's more petroglyphs here. There's this here. And so a lot of things started happening between last week's video and what we're going to show you in just a moment. We're calling what we're showing you in a moment phase 1. Phase 2 will begin this week. We will keep live updating you on this Thursday, the 23rd, because we've been clearly guided. It had to wait until after we all come together the night of the 22nd. So we have tonight, tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's like a 4-day perfect balance. Really try to be with us all 4 days. You're already here today. Try to be with Jess tonight, Self Ascension Studios. Monday Magic tomorrow. Soul Mirrors Tuesday. Wednesday, the 22nd. Right? There we are. Okay. The hello, how are you? And we will have that hello, how are you? So what has been uncovered this week so far is that what we now know is happening here at Tosa Blue Mountain, and is obviously not an accident. This is a major temple. This is a major site. It is huge. It is so much bigger than we thought. We will probably be excavating it for years if we really want to do the whole thing. I don't know that we'll be able to, but what was discovered this week alone in the energy of preparing for this moment, and this excavation is going to continue this week, and we will get you documentation of each day what is being uncovered, because we are breathless at what's happening here, and we are going to show it with you in today's short film in just a moment.
And so last week when we gave you a glimpse of the Chopstick Cave, just by way of revisiting and perhaps elaborating a little bit, remember the physical is a representation of an energy.
Right.
And not a full representation. It is just a way of, it's like touching the fabric. And so at this beautiful Chopstick Cave, there were these beings that we were able to touch into them through the roof of the cave. And if you go back and look at that video where Kira is talking, you look especially on the upper left side.
You can capture the energy of what happened.
The camera cannot keep the focus. There are ripples and waves of energy coming off of the ceiling, which was the connection point. And one of our beautiful community members wrote in to talk about that.
So we want to read this email from Patricia before we show you today's video. And then after today's video, we are going to share a lot more about what's going on in that video. And of course, bringing in your phone calls with your questions and your mini soul reading requests and your sharings, and sharing more about the energy of this week as well. So I want to read Pat's first. And then also in the second hour, we have a couple other emails I think we're going to be able to read as well.
Yeah.
Subject line, Chopstick video. So this was last week's video. If you have not seen it, go back and watch last week's show. Dear Kira, Shri, and the Cosmic Origins group. Hi, guys who are now at home. I just watched the replay of the video at the cave at Chopstick, and the energy is so strong. It radiates through, and I can only imagine what it was like to be there in person. Wow. Well, you will in October when you come here. We're taking you there. All right. So amazing and strong. Truly, I am humbled to witness it. I was reading about how Chopstick means the house of stars. Yes, that is true.
That's the translation.
It is the translation. Maybe this is way too left brain, but I can see a triangle in my head, and it's a pyramid, between Chopstick, Ingapirka, and Tosa Blue Mountain. Yes, that is absolutely true. Now, here's where Shri and I were like, wow, thank you for doing all this work. She goes, so I wondered if the placement of these temples also reflected or followed 3 of the stars of the Southern Cross, which I am sure had energies in its own name long before it was ever given that name. And maybe there is a 4th point to be revealed. See the constellation in the middle of the picture. Yes, that's in the 5th dimension. It's the 3 with the 4. Anyway, I so appreciate your sharing that you were able to share, and I am in so awe of all that is unfolding before you, Tosa Blue Mountain, and the whole Miracle Team family. Love, 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 and infinite blessings, Pat. And then her P.S. Also a portal? And the answer is, my love, all of this is unfolding right now, and this is all happening pretty much in real time. And thank you. Those of you that know Shri and I know that we put things on the books, things happen, and then we're always after the fact going, wow, that was pretty cool.
Nice alignment.
Look at that alignment. And so everything that you're saying, Pat, we know is getting ready to be revealed. And so we want to invite all of you to bring your hand to your heart. And we have put together a very short 7-minute video that will show you just a hint of where we began last week and take you through to phase 1, which will start expanding tomorrow. And we will be back to share a whole lot more after that. So stay with us. There's a lot to see. Receive this energy. It's a blessing.
Okay, so here's the wall to the right, and Angel says it extends all the way up here, but there's lots of cactus, lots and lots of cactus, so we're just wondering what you think about that. But he didn't clear up there, of course. And then here's the wall, okay? Goes all the way down, and we're wondering if he should clean all the rocks of the lichen, and if he should make a trail on one side of the wall, or not. is another Antigua rock that has some figuros, yeah? Okay. Here it is on the trail. So he could clear that. We're just farther down on the second loop. So he could clear that as well.
And we do love you, and welcome back. And we are still basking in that film ourselves, and really kind of pinching ourselves that this is happening here at Tosa Blue Mountain. And again, bow before our Cosmic Origins group. It seems every time a group comes to Tosa Blue Mountain, it's an up-level moment in and of itself. And so thank you to all of you for holding that presence.
And this is a reminder for me to remind you that there is power in the witnessing and the presence of consciousness. When we gather together, we are in a magnifying experience. These events where we are gathered with an alignment of love, of positivity, expand that harmony, and that radiates out into the shared world. And it's very important that we gather from that place of love. That place of, I stand as a warrior of light. I stand as a champion for the awakening.
Yeah.
And this is why this Wednesday event is so important. Please join us. Go to ShriandKira.com. Click on, you'll find it on the homepage.
Right there. You can't miss it.
just register and be there.
Yeah, the arrival.
And it's about the expansion of that which is positive, wholesome, and the opportunity before us all.
And to become and empower our universal championship that begins with our acceptance of the divine feminine on what just also happened to have been Mary Magdalena's feast day. You gotta just love that. Now, Shri, I want to share one thing, and that is that when we look at the victim triangle, I've got to put it up for a moment. When we look at the victim triangle, this is the energy that has been either pushing you or pulling you this entire time. And it is getting very, very strong. And this is why you're seeing a lot of positionality. Last week, all of this spinning was probably overlapping so fast you might not have been able to keep up with it. So remember that the density experience, the Me Focus Center, is all about the victim, rescuer, abuser. We are always one of those roles, and we are always looking to call to us others to fill the ones we are not. And in our ascended presence, we are all now being tapped on the shoulder. The universe is saying, are you ready? Are you ready? Time to transform, time to be the teacher, mentor, healer of the master that you are. You become, you transcend, you transform. And so, of course, you have walked through all of that energy. Of course, it's all been before you. Of course, your mind is going crazy. It's all part of the victim energy, is it not? The victim, abuser, rescuer. And I really want to share that this brings us to partners in pain, because partners in pain are the ones who will always support your pain, rather than love you from the expanded presence to say, hey, I love you and you can have this experience if you want. I'm going to hold who you really are right here. And I will see you in your highest always. That energy begins with you holding that for you. Yeah. Because only you can break you out of the victim triangle. And Shri, it brings us to a letter we had. And so I wanted to read that letter, but if you want to share something first, please do.
Well, sometimes we don't know the difference between a partner in pain and a loving friend.
Oh, so well said.
And so it's...
value point.
A discernment I can offer you is that a partner in pain will help you be happier with being stuck. Mm-hmm.
Because they like where they are. No, and here's the danger of partners in pain, right? Every time, I witnessed it this week. I always witness, it's so beautiful to witness, is that anytime we are at a peak mastery moment, I mean, one of those, whoa, I'm being tipped into a whole new experience of what balance is, whoa, and you either feel it as a falling backwards and you're freaking out, or you lift up and fly, right? And yet there is that moment. And the way that this experience of this form of density that the sacred sequence incarnated us into, the way that works is that at every moment of mastery expansion must come simultaneous the moment that would seek to stop it. Because that's just the experience you're in. And what does happen is that as you do expand into ever-refining dimensions, those moments become much less frequent and much more refined. Very fascinating energy. But they never stop, or at least I've yet to see them completely stop. And so what happens is that when you are in that moment, it will always, in one way or another, be a partner in pain moment. Either the partner in pain will be your ego, because your ego is usually your biggest partner in pain. So remember, it always starts with the self. Or it will be a family member or the people you consider to be the closest in your life. And these are usually, not always, but usually the same people that as you grow will seek to have you challenge the growth or just start talking about their own pain so that you start focusing and become a rescuer. And anything that pulls you back into the victim triangle is a partner in pain.
So there's two levels to it.
Please.
The partner in pain will, with loving intention, seek to help you become happier with the status quo or to cope with the status quo. And there's let's just say there's an enabling that's going on.
Right, that's the rescuer, right?
And then at the other level, when you are breaking free, those friendships that have that quality of partners in pain will actually be like a gravity field wanting to keep you from ascending, wanting to keep you from leaving them stuck with that.
And it's not conscious.
It's
this is what you need to know. This is
completely
completely not conscious. This is why you can only break free of the partner in pain need, because it's actually an egoic need. You
Yes.
can actually break free of that when you start in that fifth dimensional anchor ship. Until you are fully anchored in the fifth dimension, you will be cycling through partners in pain. And remember that unless the partner is willing to grow with you, they often become the first to polarize.
Yeah. The need for validation is an egoic need.
Exactly.
And there are times as we're cultivating emotional maturity and understanding our ego that we need to be validated.
And why would you need validation? Because you're still doubting.
Because you're not connected to
doubting.
the source of your true
Exactly,
wisdom, your
exactly.
soul energy.
Exactly.
So as we live a soul-based life, the need for validation goes doom, 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 and thereby we've lost that Velcro hook to the partners in pain.
Right. So breathe that one in. I want to read this letter.
Okey-doke.
So this letter comes to us from India, from our beloved Akhil. Hi, Angel. And I think a lot of our community is often communicating with him as well. So here's his subject line. We've all made it to July 2020 with a lot of exclamation points. I hear you. Right. Okay. And here's what he says. It feels, namaste, beloved Shri and Kira. It feels so good to connect with you again. In the beginning of this year, I made a commitment to myself to fully step into who I am. Clearly, the universe had other plans, and we have the little bleh face. I love the emoji. It's so cute. Things were going good till about March. After that, though, the ride has not been easy. I found myself being pulled into the victim, abuser, rescuer cycle over and over again, and I sort of lost my way in the sense that I completely lost touch with my spiritual life. I'm just breathing that in because, honey, I feel the sorrow of that. Like I feel it in your body. Whew, wait, I have to breathe a minute. Okay, do you want to continue, Shri? Right here, in the past few months.
Yeah. So I
really
completely
feel
lost
that, honey.
touch with my spiritual life.
Right.
In the past few months, I've tried to work through numerous hurts and wounds, and I hope I've been able to navigate them successfully. Today, I am making that commitment once again. This is not how I want to spend my life here. I won't use words to describe what I'm feeling because I trust that you will know when you read this.
Yes.
Dearest Kira, please bless me with a mini soul reading. I know that soon I have to make decisions that will impact the rest of my life, and I invite guidance about the same and anything else that is meant to come forward. I also have a question for Shri. For the last few months, there has been something going on at the bottom of my right foot. Any insights you can offer are most welcome. Thank you for the blessing of you, both of you, and thank you for this amazing community. I'm so glad to be back. I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. And thank you.
And a heart. Thank you, sweetheart. And first of all, and to all of you that are connecting right now, do you feel this? It's like a punch in the third chakra. As Shri was reading, I was just like a whoa. And very much like I talked about in the beginning of the show today, and fifth chakra as well. So, sweetheart, if you're watching this in real time or whenever you would connect with this, hand on the third, hand on the fifth. Now, I want you to consider that right now, if you're sitting, imagine that you're standing up. And you're standing up with your hands like this and you're having to balance on your left foot. What happens? How do you feel? Pretty unstable, huh? And what they're saying is, bring your breath between your chakras. Right here, it's third to fifth. This area has, the only thing I want to say is it's exhausted. It's been jumping up and down and jumping up and down and jumping up and down, and it's left you where your ascended heart can't balance. So your life has had a really hard time coming into balance, and it is through your ascended heart that you are now coming back into balance. And as I share all this with you, And as I begin to feel greater, I want you to really bring, especially right here, really breathe in here, honey, yeah, and bring it down. I had to do that before I could even continue talking. Around you is like every god, goddess I've ever seen and more. And they keep transforming from form to formless, form to formless, form to formless. And they're wrapping themselves around you. And I'm feeling the energy right here at the upper part of your crown chakra. And they're all saying the same thing. Home, 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 home. It's like a bellows. And it's bellowing, bellowing, bellowing. And your third chakra, I'm watching it get bigger and bigger. And it's like you're now in a courtyard and you're swaying. And there's all these other beings with you, priests, priestesses, gods, goddesses. And we're all swaying and moving. And they're saying, our most beloved one, stand tall with the truth of who you are. Arise your hands once more. Let go of the doubt that called you into this moment, knowing that this is the moment the doubt prepared you to receive. And they're telling you to breathe in again. And they're saying, go to your third eye, go to your star consciousness, go to your crown. Third eye, star consciousness, crown. Third eye, star consciousness, crown. And they're saying that as you run the river of light up and illuminate that which is ready to be known, so are all. And that may the king within know that this moment was called forward on behalf of many as a service, and that the many say thank you as the ignition continues. Wow.
Yes. Just enjoying it.
Yeah, I can't do much. Oh my gosh. I just keep hearing it has begun.
Yeah.
That, earlier in the show we were talking, wow, I'm still having a hard time. Hold on. I'm glad I have this big chair. You guys don't know that I'm like, in this chair because my husband covered it in green screen. I'm feeling very like the next few Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah. They're saying that this is an ignition and that we're going to need to get to the phone lines, that we are all going into the ignition together. We are all co-creating it together.
And I just want to speak briefly to
please.
The right foot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Thank you.
And actually what Kira brought through will take care of that. As you go back and listen to this again and be with this again, it will take care of it. However, I want to offer your mind a little bit of a paradigm that you can work with your spirit. I looked at your right foot, and the problem's not physical. So you probably already knew that the discomfort you're experiencing there is basically, as Kira began sharing, it's about how can you walk without being able to use both feet? Yeah. How can you move forward? And this pain is about the knowingness that you're moving forward to something that you are attached, moving forward, thus more distancing from something you're attached to. It feels like family to me. And so it's important to recognize that when we love, we allow for the freedom of expression. We allow our loved one to be who they are. We allow ourselves to be who we are as well. And sometimes that looks like there is a separation or a distancing, and that we'll come to find that things will return to a perfect balance after the transition is fully loved and committed to. And so you need to kind of look in your own heart. I see a little thread of energy from your right heel going right on up into your sixth chakra, which connects you to spiritual family and also the history family.
Well, and that would make sense because when we're going into to the connection with the spiritual family, the attunement, they were just saying, remember, and it's third eye, and it's the hands, it's this third eye, star consciousness, and it's both hands together like this. Third eye, star consciousness, crown. Third eye, star consciousness, crown 3 times. Third eye, star consciousness, crown, and then I'm really sensing the spine as well. So I would encourage practicing that. Most likely tomorrow night, which is the actual Uplevel event, we will incorporate that tomorrow night for all of you that are live with us on Monday Magic. And if you're not, why not? Get in there. Go to ShriandKara.com. And remember, tonight, and I suspect Jess will include it, tonight, you can also start this whole thing off with ceremony with Jess Juntadin, who is, of course, one of our champions on the 22nd. And so, selfascensionstudios.com. Shri, we're going to the phone lines. Where are we going?
Well, let's see here.
How about we begin at the beginning right there? Let's go right up at the top. There we are from, where are we at now? Westford, Massachusetts?
Okay.
All right, we're just going to start at the beginning. Namaste, Westford, Massachusetts. Welcome.
Hi, Cynthia. How are you?
We are well. Hi, sweetheart.
Thank you so much for taking my call.
You're welcome.
I'm actually here with my husband. It's his first time calling in, and it's also his birthday. And we would be most honored by a meaningful reading. Thank you.
Well, thank you for asking. Happy birthday. And I'm feeling, it's so funny, as I'm connecting with all of you, what's so beautiful is that there is this moment of I'm calling it not skepticism, but there's this smile of anticipation, yet a knowing of the connection. And that it's one of those beautiful moments where, as we are this week in this arrival, in this rebirth, I'm seeing Archangel Michael and my throat chakra. I'm going to take a sip of water. Wow, this is Gabriel, by the way. Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Zadkiel. And they're standing around you right now. And they're all, it's really interesting. It's like they were standing, but now they each have, Michael has this sword, Zadkiel has like this quarterstaff that looks like violet light to me, and Gabriel has what looks like one of those long horns, almost one of those ones from like the beautiful Tibetan monasteries.
Yeah.
And so they've got those like held out, and they're walking around. And what they're saying is that union is the greatest gift. And it comes through the weaving of all of the parts. May in this moment all of the parts reveal themselves, and the puzzle pieces are laid before thee. It is now your time to blend them together in the way that brings the greatest joy. Before you now is a vast opportunity of creation. We are here with you now as we have always been. And may the seeds that have been sown begin to blossom. For together, there is a great harmony moment before you. And so it is. Thank you for the blessing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, my love.
Much love, dear.
Much love, many blessings. Thank you. Oh, my heart. How's your heart, Shri?
This is sweet.
Yeah, no, are you guys
Sweet
feeling that? I'm really feeling that. And, it brings me to all of the things that have been happening, that whenever we come together as community, whenever we say yes to together we are better, whenever, I think about the letter from Akil and what he has been through.
Right.
It's not about the way the journey happens. It's about the moment when the mastery is remembered. And as a matter of fact, I want to bring up a quick graphic here, because when we are in the moment of remembering our mastery, we enter into the cycle of ascended consciousness. Remember that when we free ourselves from density experience, when we free ourselves on the pyramid of spiritual awakening from the density consciousness, when we lift up through spiritual activism, we kind of wade that river and we wake up into a new awareness. That is when the cycle of ascended consciousness begins, and it's a cycle because we first become aware of that which we couldn't even see before. And this awareness happens when we break free, and it really sometimes does feel like you're losing your mind, right? When we have to let go, or what I call go to the borderlands of sanity and say, okay, if I'm ever what if this all really is real? What if I really try it on, right? That's when the awareness begins. And then the greater the awareness, it's a cycle, and it's an ever-refining spiral. We then move into the experience phase. And then from there is choice, where we move into experience awareness again. As Archangel Zadkiel always has just recently said as well, we're re-upping, right? We have all Monday Magic last week. Excuse me. And so in this month of experience, right now, as we have, and I really want you to feel it and be with us all week. We're going to be diving into this together on Wednesday, of course, but as this comet, this 5 plus the double infinite experience of a comet in the fully illuminated new moon. You see, look at this beautiful, fully illuminated new moon is going to come forward on this Wednesday and say, hey, are you ready to meet me here? And the more of us that say, I see you, the greater the gift of the illumination. This is an arrival moment. And this is the moment when your universal championship arises even more. And the way that that does that is I want to, where is it? Right here. There it is, unification. The way that it does that is that we remember that we are in a moment of unification, and that the way that we can unify is only through becoming the champions of unification. Knowing and living together we are better. Knowing and owning the law of instantaneous manifestation, that there is more than enough for all, and that the lack consciousness is the key to separation.
And so it's important to remember that in this time of completion means that this cycle is birthing the next cycle, and that we will lift, we will merge with that which we have forgotten about. So it might feel like the unknown, which will be somehow feel familiar.
It will. And as you gaze at the graphic, you notice that there's that expansion from divine consciousness that brings us out, it like stretches us out all the way into density. Denser. Yet we are all of the energies, right? The Elohim, the benevolent ones, the T12, the archangelic realm, the archangel, all of it. We are all of that. We come through all of that into this beautiful experience of density where for a moment we believe we have to look up to connect with it, where we then literally, consider it your shotgun around the sun moment, right?
Yeah.
Where we literally then begin an ever beautiful folding of the dimensional energy into the reunification. This is the arrival. This is the moment where the universe is saying, are you ready to be the champion? Because you already are. And in so many ways, I was giggling with Sri about this today. I think I like the verb better. That to champion. Are you ready to champion? Because as you champion, so are you the champion, right? And so
are you champion.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It just becomes, it's that master's mastery. And so this is a moment where the universe has arrived and is saying, look, we're going to get even closer. We sent you that message in a bottle when we flew over last time. Remember the last up level that had the comet energy? Wow. Here we are again. Wow. Only this time, literally, I feel it like the hand coming in and our hand is coming forward, and we're just days away from holding hands, and we're already in the energy. So on the as we move through the experience of this week, why not give yourself the gift of saying yes to you in a new way? Why not allow the active championing, hard word to say for me, of your own being be the gift you give yourself? Lift into the fifth dimension. Come join us here. Be in the fifth dimension. Love yourself enough to hold that compassion. And then stand up into the seventh dimension and become the witnesser of the witnessing, and begin to really experience the gift of knowing who you really are as the law of instantaneous manifestation guides you, as the judgments literally fall away, because the greater vision is all there is. Breathe that in. It's the divine directors all those months ago saying, hold the highest of each, and it shall reflect back to thee.
Yeah.
Allow it to be, right? What a moment in this beautiful, look at this. Here, come closer to me, sweetheart. Here we are. Oh, owie. So here we are in this wonderful, full, yeah, that's better. Here, wait. And you guys never get to see his hair because it's white. Let me see if I can get, there we go. Anyway, so we're in this beautiful creation, right?
Yes, we are.
Mwah. Yes, we are. All right, who's next? Who's the next person that's coming into the show? Where are we going? Which call board?
Well, we're going to keep rolling here.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, why don't we go to Portland, Maine?
Portland, Maine. Okay. Hey, Portland, Maine. Welcome.
Oh my gosh, thank you, Sri and Kira. I can't believe I got through to you. This is my first time calling.
Hey, of course you did. I love this.
Yeah, welcome.
So my name is Jane.
Hi, Hi, Dan.
And I've been following your show for a few years now.
Thank you.
And you bring me such peace and groundedness in whatever internal knowing I am fortunate to have. And I was hoping for a mini soul reading from Kira, if possible.
Ooh, yes, of course. And yeah, hand to heart. Hand to heart. As I connect with you, as you were sharing and making that request, and you are so beautiful, and I am just so honored to meet you, I could feel like almost a tightening in your heart just as you finished with the request. And so I want you to really, I'm going to bring both hands to my heart center, and I invite you to do the same. And I'm really like, it's like my hands right now are saying to my heart, don't worry, I love you. Got this. Right? Everything that just keeps coming in is saying, don't worry. It's really okay. You've got this. And they're saying that you are so ready and that your guidance is spot on. And as I'm sharing this, I'm noticing the third chakra getting tighter. So I want you to move one hand over to hold the center of the heart, bring one down to the third chakra. And here's the other gift that's coming in. And this message is going directly into your third chakra. You were born for this moment, and everything you have done has brought you here. Pay attention to the blessings that are already unfolding around you. If you are ready, together we can take this journey, and you will find and discover the truth that lies within, a beauty that defies the mind, and the support that you have cried out for. We are here, and we have heard you. And now your heart's hurting again, so I want you to bring that hand up to your heart, both hands on the heart. And I'm just bowing before these incredible beings that are sharing this information with you. You are part of a soul experience that has these huge rays of light that many would call wings. And they're saying, as you bow your head with sincerity, as you hold your heart with love, and as you smile and breathe in your presence, you will discover once more the power you are ready to wield and the way to do so that will radiate all. Thank you for the gift of meeting you, my love. I'm so honored.
Oh, thank you so much. You're both so beautiful.
Oh, we are just your reflection, my angel.
Many blessings.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, everybody feel their heart, right? I think it's a good time for all of us to just kind of double check that heart, right? Yeah, just do a little heart double check. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we have a caller over at BBS that just wants to say hi.
Hey, hi.
I recognize this person on line one over there.
All right.
Somebody we met many years ago. In
Oh, okay. A surprise. Who is it, Shree?
This is Amma from California.
Wow, Amma. Namaste.
And I don't
felt so with you all this last week, especially through my divine surrogate sister.
Wow.
So touched by the power of this moment.
Yes.
I shared with Crystal, my sister, a text of witnessing East meeting West, of you both being divine pillars and witnesses, and three wonderful sister priestesses carrying the flavors and energies and frequencies of the East, and three amazing sister priestesses from the European descent from the West. And the fifth dimension vision was so powerful. This whole multi-dimensional, instantaneously on so many planes. You're healing grids, you're healing us, you're healing the planet and then the solar system and beyond, and the power of this moment. And the support that is coming through of all of the different wonderful connections we're going to be making in the next few days. And noting that the masters and all the light beings are here to support us. I can't remember in my personal history ever being in such a powerful nexus. And extraordinary blessings. And I've experienced recently shredding 20 years of my life, literally all my papers.
Wow.
And loving that victim triangle that I was in and acknowledging it and sending it on its way into the violet flame.
Yes.
All right.
And it's preview quickly is tomorrow night. If anybody listening could come to be with everybody tomorrow night, Monday Miracle Magic.
Yes.
Because that Gil will share all that is everything that has come forward before is just that, and you are not that.
Yeah.
So, thank you. I just want to send my love and gratitude and acknowledgement.
Oh, well, Amara, thank you. Thank you for the blessing of you. And I'm just loving that everything you're sharing is so resonant and perfect. And thank you for opening up for sharing miracle energy. May others call in and share as well, because this is the moment that together we are better and we celebrate. So, mwah! I can hardly wait to see you at Tosa Blue Mountain.
All of us are mirroring each other. It is like a joy house, not a fun house. And together we're mirroring each other's light. And love. Thank
Yay!
you.
Welcome to the Joy House.
Woo-hoo, Joy House. All right. We love you, sweetheart. Namaste. All right, Sri, we coming back over to the OTR call board now?
Okay.
All right, let's go back over to the OTR call board. And where are we? We are in Houghton, Michigan. Is that Michigan?
Yeah, it looks
All
like
right. Hey, Michigan. Namaste.
Hello, Kira. How are you? It's great. Thank you so much. It's such an honor that you accept my call. I was so nervous. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
So joyful.
How can we serve you, my angel?
I would appreciate deeply to have a guidance from both of you and get blessings, because I know this is the time that I need it, and then my heart called for it. So I would appreciate to have a mini soul reading and a guidance from you two. Anything that life wants to offer it to me. Thank you so much, and many blessings, everyone. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you, Grace. And I first want to share with you that the very first thing I heard was to hold up my teacup because, I love this, because it's green, but what's even better is because it's green, do you see what's happening to it? It is a lotus, and I noticed that the Shiva Linga of light is coming up right now. Do you see that tree? That is not on the cup. Yeah, and it's very much almost like a being, and they said to hold it up, and wow, as I'm holding it up, do you guys see what's happening? More and more is illuminating. Are you watching this tree? Yeah, this fun. Is amazing what is happening right now. So they're telling me to hold this up, and that the reason being, the first reason they had told me to hold it up was because the tea I made today is a beautiful tea called Tea Kuan Yin. and there's a part of me that's looking at the cup feeling very much like that's Kuan Yin pouring her blessings. And so thank you, first of all, for igniting that for all of us and for calling in that energy. And it is the beloved Kuan Yin who is speaking to you right now. And she is standing with two hands that have pouring, one is water, but it's very much like crystalline flows of water coming out of her hand. And this other one is really beautiful. It's like sacred symbols and letters and light language and other things. And she's just standing there pouring this. And I feel like she's right here at Tosa Blue Mountain, and just like our Kuan Yin over at our Fountain of Creation. And she's just pouring this toward you and pouring this toward you. And what she's saying is, sit within the waterfall of your divine inspiration and do not be afraid to get wet. It is your time to receive more, do more, hear more, and be that which you are. And so it is.
Thank you so much. Many blessings, and I appreciate you all. And I wish you all the greatness that comes forward to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sweetheart. Hands on heart. I'm feeling a lot of energy there. Deep. We love you, honey. Mwah, you are such a blessing. And I really thank you, Grace. I thank her for bringing Kuan Yin into the show today.
Absolutely.
And I really found that to be quite beautiful. And remember, right before the show, I was like, I'm really called to have this Kuan Yin tea today. All right, Sri, where are we going? Are we going to, it looks like we're going to San Diego. Hey, San Diego, namaste. Maybe it's not No, I think that is San Diego.
Well, we'll go.
All right, we're going to go to, we have a hand raised in, I believe it's Monica over in Ohio. All right, let's open her up. Hi, Monica.
Oh my gosh, I can hardly talk because I'm so happy you took my call. Namaste, Sri and Kira. Oh my
Namaste.
goodness. Hello, Sri and Kira.
Hi.
Hi, Angel.
Hi. So I'm like seriously jumping up and down because it's going to be my birthday very soon, July 27th.
Wow.
And I would really love a mini soul reading and also a reading, beloved Sri, if you would, around my right shoulder, which has been hurting since the year 2000.
All right. Well, take in a breath. And I'm loving the birthday energy. So just kind of like, okay, I am here. I am ready. I am open, right? Guide me. So, yeah, exactly. So just kind of really breathe in that joy, breathe in that knowing. Yeah. And I'm going to let Shri begin.
Okay, this is reminiscent of our other caller. There is
The right side again.
the right side.
Yeah.
And let me be a little abstract. What are you shouldering that is not yours to carry? You don't have to answer that right now.
Just breathe it in.
What are you shouldering that is really not yours to carry? The right side of the body is a connection to the past, where we have been. It's also a connection to our family of origin and a connection to the masculine energies. And those might be enough guidance for you to meditate with as far as what is keeping you from moving forward with ease. Mm-hmm. We oftentimes invest in something or someone or a belief system. We lend our sacred energy to it because our heart says, I love them and this is what I want to do. However, it may not be in the highest interest of our soul's mission for this lifetime. And so this is why you have to go deep into your own meditation, talk to the shoulder, and ask for it to reveal to you what is it carrying. And then through that loving connection, you can make a decision whether to continue to carry it with joy or to let it go.
And I think it's really potent that you're saying you've had it since 2000 and it's 2020.
Yeah.
It's it's like the mirror, right? If I take the 20 and the 20 and I lay them on top of each other. And so it's the perfect moment to say, okay, what has that mirror been showing me in this 20-year cycle? And I'm thinking very much about the cycle, the fifth dimensional cycle. Do I want to keep seeing that mirror, or do I want to lift above it and notice what the reflection offers me from the other side? And this ties into the mini soul reading for your birthday as well, because as you relax more right now, and I want you to kind of let that shoulder drop, like I'm doing it with you. I'm like really forcing that right shoulder down, let the arm, and everyone can do this. Do it with your left as well. Just, really, I'm doing it too. Yeah, let those hands point down toward the floor. Let the shoulders drop. Let the head get a little more relaxed. They're saying just let the head relax in front of you and feel the spine release as well. Everything that they're sharing with you right now, and they're saying anyone who carries these energies should pay attention to what you're being shared with, because this is the freedom. They're saying it's a freedom process to bring the hands down, let the head go down, feel the ignition in the spine, and they're saying the cycle before you carries great freedom, and you must say yes to it.
Yeah.
And that you have been saying kinda, because you carry, and they're showing me, and it looks like a huge trail. They're like ribbons, but they're actually cords, and at the end of every one is like a suitcase. And it's like each suitcase is a belief and something that you just can't let go of. So you're moving forward, dragging a very beautiful cape-like looking device that really needs to be untied right here at your throat and left, so that you may step forward. And they're saying that energy has already been bestowed to you. Do the practice, open and release, and call forward the freedom. This is a freedom year for you. And so remember, as Shri always says, right? We are free from, free to.
Yeah, well.
Right? So whatever you are free from is going to offer you to be free to be you. And so it is. Happy birthday, Angel.
Much love to you.
Oh, thank you so much, both of you. I feel that, and wanted to share, my teeth were chattering as you did that releasement, and tears flowing down my face.
Yay!
Thank you with all my heart, sincerely.
Thank you for receiving the love of compassion. Join us up here in the 5th. We love you. Mwah.
I'm
Namaste.
so honored.
honey.
Thank you.
As are we. Many blessings, sweetheart. Wow. Shri, I really want to breathe in today that our community today has been co-creating an extraordinary, it feels like a flow of attunement. And remember, guys, that we are at the arrival. And I know we've been talking about it during the whole show, but it's that important. It's right now. We have together already opened up this beautiful creative portal of this illuminated new moon. This common energy is coming right in. And the call to champion the universality, the call to champion the profound shift into elevated consciousness is upon you. And literally the universe has sent us a tangible guide, a literal star, and saying, here, look, here you are. You are the star. Are you ready to grab it?
Yeah.
And I know we are, and that's why we're committed to these 4 days. Perfect balance today, pre-up-level attunement. Be there tonight at Jess's ceremony. It is at selfascensionstudios.com. Tomorrow night, as beautiful Amara shared, Archangel Zadkiel and we will be together for the imagine the power of receiving the Living in the Fifth Dimension lesson in the up-level moment tomorrow night. That's Monday Magic. Tuesday, Soul Mirrors. Shri, Jess, and I are going to take it into the next generation of experience as we get really into the 22nd.
Yeah.
And that is the arrival moment. Be there. Shri and Kira, you got to register to be at that one. ShriandKira.com homepage. Can't miss it. Get there. Let everyone you know be there. Help us spread the word.
It is a powerful time, and all that's required is to say yes.
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 I like that. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Well, Shri, should we say hi to somebody else? Maybe go back over to BBS?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I'll tell you what. We have some people standing by. Why don't we say hi to Dana from New Jersey on line 1 over there.
Namaste, Dana from New Jersey. Thanks for holding.
Hi, both of you.
Hi, sweetheart.
Thank you so much for taking me. I was calling in last minute. I get on the show. I'm part of Monday Night Magic. I just adore you guys and this family. And I have some things that I'm shifting through, and I have anchored in the fifth dimension. And I know I have to say yes, and I know I have to move forward. And I have this wanting to rip out and just come alive, but there's also the things that come with it. So I'm just asking for some guidance for that.
Go grab it.
Some support with all of that, and home reading.
Well, here's the very first thing I want to share with you. The reason Shri just got out, bring him over here, Shri. Merlin just came into the studio. And he had to open a heavy glass sliding door. So you've just called in your lion energy. And this is Merlin. And so we went, this is our gift from the mountain. Merlin literally was when Shri and I moved in, we had been living here 1 week when we heard this little kitten screaming. And I don't know if you can see his little broken ear, but he had already had that when we got him. And so Merlin is our magic cat, and he is very much our lion at the gate. And the indigenous say that the mountain knew we were coming and gave us a blessing, and it was Merlin. And so as you were asking, as you were feeling, we could hear Merlin over here crying, opening the door, begging to come in. And so thank you for bringing in today. Hey, Merly, show them all your gorgeous green eyes, right? So Merlin, you have brought in the cat. You have brought in the lion. So this is so in harmony with what's happening on the planet right now. You are going through a period where you are feeling everything. Everything around you is like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
The veil has been lifted.
Oh, tell me about it. I see it.
The veil has been
God, yes, girl. And now it's time for you to really get your steadfast commitment, focused awareness, complete trust. I pray you are with us in the WWA Global community, because you are at a moment where, those other things, when you said, well, I'm ready to do this, but there's those other things. Merlin just showed up and said, really? You really think that's real? Try on your championship and watch. you're a lion, and you called in an eternal presence. And so I'm really glad you got through today and that everyone could benefit from this, because you are our last caller, because we actually are out of time. So look at how perfect your timing was. We love you, Dana.
Much love, dear.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And hey, thank all of you for your miracle enlightenment. If you don't know about WWA Global, you should be there with us Wednesday night. Merlin will for sure be there. And may your heart know how truly loved you are. And we look forward to being with you again tomorrow night, Monday Magic, Tuesday night, Soul Mirrors, right here on all the same channels. Wednesday night, register The Arrival. We're doing this together, guys.
It's a powerful time, and we are saying yes to you. We are saying yes to the divine, yes to the expansion, and breathe and know the truth of your yes.
Yeah.
See you soon.
Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information at shriandkira.com. See you next week. Namaste.